Ando, I want to introduce a segment on the show.
Yeah.
It's a niche segment.
Great.
But I think, well, certainly I would be very confident saying we'd be the only show that has this segment. And we're not scared of niche stuff. I mean, most of the power moves are like, here's one if you work in a shoe shop and someone comes in but they want shoes for their hands or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Pizza Lotto, I would say, would be a niche segment.
Yeah, we should go get back to Pizza Lotto.
Well, yeah, you bought nearly 100 hats that we're going to give out for you are a Pizza Lotto participant or Pizza Lotto winner.
Yep.
They're all at my house. Beck keeps saying, can you get this huge box of hats out of here?
I have a Pizza Lotto hat. Obviously, took a little taste for myself, a little cream off the top.
But only a participant one.
Only participant. Don't have the Pizza Lotto winner hat. But Zoe often says, can I throw this hat out? And I say, no, you don't understand this, but that's one of the rarest hats in the world. Just people don't know about them yet, but we're going to get to them.
You and I were recently up in Sydney together, and people were asking whether we'd even been out to Pino's Pizzeria.
We haven't?
And we haven't. We should.
We're onto it. This is not that. I'd like to introduce a segment called Shunned by a Russel.
Shunned by a Russel?
So if you've got someone called Russel in your life that's mysteriously shunning you, bring it to us and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Right.
I've got one. Okay. Why don't I kick things off? I've built an opener. Go, Jack. Not trying to complain, don't want to cause a fuss, but you have been shunned by a Russ. Oh,
very good. Oh, Russell. Sorry.
Russell. Yeah. So shunned by a Russ.
Yep.
Or shunned by a Russell, depending on how close you are with them.
Is it Crow?
Not Crow.
Okay.
I wouldn't be too upset if I'd been shunned by Russell Crowe because I don't feel like I'm on a footing to not be shunned by Russell Crowe.
Is that to be shunned, you mean?
No, I don't feel like it would be unfair if he shunned me.
Yeah, exactly.
If I said, I saw Russell Crowe at dinner and I went up and I said, God, g'day, mate. Do you mind if I join you for dessert? And he went, piss off. That would be fair.
That seems fair.
That's not really a shunning. That's more just an expected exchange.
So who's the Russell in your life?
Would it be shunned by someone? I think you need to be expecting more of them.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It blows me away to say this, and I feel sad bringing this to the group because it doesn't make me look good, and I still maintain there's some sort of problem that's out of this Russell's hands because he's one of my favourite Russells. It's Russell Howcroft, a beloved Russell
Howcroft,
beloved by Australia. Now
Jack wouldn't like him.
Huge fan. Why does he?
He's up against Jack on the breakfast radio
but
walls.
Jack, you're never going to beat 3AW. So you can't.
And of course, he was on Gruen for a long time, and I loved Gruen.
Oh, still. I mean, he still is on Gruen, isn't he? I think so.
Yeah.
Good.
1 year ago, good for him. Good pound move, Jack. Pretending to not know the hugely successful TV show your competitor who destroys FM in the ratings is on. 1 year ago, ran into Russell Howcroft flying back. The last time I went overseas, came back from Los Angeles, was over there for G'day LA.
Yep.
Happened to be in town at the same time, went along to the thing. Wasn't invited, wasn't there for that, but took the free dinner.
Yep.
Flying back, so it would have been January, late Jan. Run into Russ at the airport. There's a bunch of us.
Yep.
We have a great time, having a few drinks, hang out for a few hours, get on the plane. We're kind of sitting near each other, chatting pretty much, flying all the way back. It was LA to Sydney. Getting off, it was LA to Melbourne. Getting off, Russell's talking about these kids I'm listening to his son's music. His son's in a band. Yep. We both go for the Melbourne Footy Club. We're talking about going to the footy. Great. We exchange numbers. Okay. Sorry, correction. He goes, oh, we've got to catch up. We'll make sure we go to the footy.
Yes.
Okay, great. We actually got split up at baggage claim. Never didn't see him again.
Yep.
But we've got mates that are similar. So I text Whipper, our mate, who's good friends with Russ. I go, sorry, mate, just spent, 20 hours with Russ. Can you send me his number? Get the number, threw the message out to Russell within a few days. Yep. Sorry I didn't get to say goodbye, probably, mate. Anyway, let's catch up. Never hear anything back. That's life, right? That's the cut and thrust of life.
That's a shun, though.
That's the initial shun, but it's also could have been jet lagged. It was a few days later. Okay. It's not an urgent catch up.
Yep.
Then COVID hit, and once that, you're not chasing up too many Russells during COVID. If you didn't already have, if that Russell wasn't part of your tight orbit, I wasn't going to be throwing out during Melbourne's lockdown, hey, when this all ends, remember, we're meant to catch up.
What's good about this as well for anyone who else wants to participate in Shunned by Russell is we're now getting the level of shunning you need.
It gets worse.
Well, that's the thing. So some people would go, well, that's enough. But are you saying that
I'm going to be completely open and honest here and go, I was hurt because I really like Russell.
you didn't feel shunned yet?
I was beginning to feel shunned, but I was like, it's just not like him.
Okay.
And he's friends with Zoe.
Yep.
Like he's communicated with Zoe like professionally and through her business go-to and stuff. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna harp on too much about this. And then I went, you know what? Whipper is slack.
He might know.
He's given me the wrong number.
Yep.
So Rebecca said, hey mate, this would have been like maybe a week after I didn't hear back from Russell. So still about a year ago.
You really want to catch him?
Yeah, I was like, I was bugging him. I was like, why isn't Russell Howcroft written back? Oh, it gets a lot worse.
I mean, he's fun, but like
it gets worse.
Okay.
It gets worse. So let's not, before we lay the boot in, I'm bearing my heart here. Okay, so I go, Whipper, send me Russell. You've sent me the wrong number.
Yeah.
Whip goes, no, I haven't. This is his number. Sends me a screenshot of their most recent chat. You know, they've chatted within the last couple of months or something. Yep. So it's a recent number. I go, fair enough. He didn't want to chat. I get it. We move on. Fast forward to the end of last year, December. Someone recommends to me, have you watched this documentary on the ABC? There's a great, it's called How Australia Got Its Mojo, a documentary about advertising in the 80s and 90s,
right,
hosted by Russell Howcroft, made by Russell. I watched the doco, great doco. I'm in the moment, I go, I'm going to go again. I think it's a very well-made doc. I think I'll just go again. I went, you know what? So much water's passed under the bridge now. I said, I actually think it was the wrong number. I message Sam, our old producer, who works with Russell, I think, on his podcast. I go, mate, do you have Russell Howcroft's number?
He really wants that.
The funny thing is you're never this persistent about
anything. But I wanted to tell Russell that he did a great job in this doco. Sam sends me through the contact and I go, great, now I've got it.
Maybe he's detected how eager you are.
Not from one message.
But you know when girls used to not reply to you back in the day? Like this is kind
I've changed the game. I'm just saying.
Doesn't sound like it.
I get one. So Sam sends me through the business card. I go, great, this is actually Russell Howcroft's number. I said, hey, I just saw that doco. Awesome, well done. Just wanted to say that. I hear nothing back. I go, I check the numbers. They're the same number, right? It's the same number. I thought Sam sent me an updated number. It's actually still the same number, the old number. I'm beginning to realise that is Russell Howcroft's number. It's now 0 from 2, and that's where I've just let it go. But it's been on my mind over summer to go, because now, unfortunately, I sent that number. I was telling this story behind the scenes at Lego, and the wardrobe makeup people were like having a go at me, going, he doesn't want to talk to you.
Yep.
So now, unfortunately, every time I see those people, they're like, have you caught up with Russell Howcroft? And I have to lie, going, yeah, no, we're chatting now. It's good. We're all connected.
Right.
Here's the thing, Ando. Do we continue so first of all, if you've been shunned by a Russell, I know how you feel.
Yep. And this
especially
is
one that you admire. That's the most painful part about this.
I want to apologise.
Do you have his number?
I think I've got his number, yes. Because
just tell me what it ends
we
in.
occasionally play golf together.
Right, well, that's what I'd love to do. What does it end in, your one?
Hang on. But here's what I'd like to put forward as I get before.
Well, I want to try and call him.
Oh, great idea.
Because if he's answering a private number and he's not responding to me, I mean, that's...
Great idea. Stand by. But I also wanted to put this out before we get to the number, is I want to apologise to you, Haim, for giggling, and Jack, I think you should do the same, because I think it sets a bad precedent.
Oh, yeah, people won't nominate
for people that want to come in for Shunned by Russell.
Well, I appreciate that, Andy, but I think
correct our stance.
You wanted to laugh at me, but also then whitewash it after the event.
Well, I just want to make sure that, everybody
comes forward with their Russell worries. What does yours end in? Because if we've got the same number, I'm just calling right now off my phone and putting him on speaker. I mean, he'll shun me again, but we might as well have the third one live.
545, Ham, is
that's the number. That's what everyone's given me. There's the competing theory that I had the wrong number, I have to let go of now. Okay, we're just going to call him.
This is great.
Please be disconnected. Okay, it's a working number.
Hi there, you called Russell Howcroft. Please send me a text, as I do find I can respond.
It sounded like you got donuted as well.
It did sound like it went to message bank really quickly.
Well,
he literally says, I prefer text. I'm wonderful on text message. If I have even a scrap of respect for you, I will respond to your text message.
Well, this is not on, and let's just practice what we...
triple shunning.
If someone else gets joins the segment Shunned by Russell, what's the best way for us to respond to you now, Ham?
I guess
We
it's
just
a
play
safe
some
space. It's
play
just a
some
safe
piano
space.
music and just go, hey man, we're here
There's
for you.
other. I guess there are
other
people out there.
there are other
'cause
people.
The last thing you wanted to be recommended another Russell.
Yeah, exactly. There's other people's other names.
Like if I was
And-
like, I'm feeling down, I'm going to call Russell Brand.
Yeah.
And he's shutting me as well. The
Yeah.
last thing you need is to be shunned by
But
two Russells.
Yeah, so I think we'll just practice here, Jacko. Hey, Ham, don't worry about him.
Don't worry about it.
There's plenty of other guys out and girls out there with different names. And like they start with completely different letters as well, so you won't even be reminded
You
of
can
Russell.
text 1 million people and they'll text back.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. It's my mind's racing with what's going on. Could someone have? No, I did. I was going to say, could someone have got into his phone and changed my number to something bad?
That could happen.
That's why
Yeah. I think this is the part where we, Jack, have to
you
really...
have to believe any theory I throw out there.
Yeah.
Now, your job as friends to help me get over this is
Just go, actually,
what's
that's
happened.
probably what's happened.
That's what's happened.
Yeah, it's someone's accidentally put in his phone as don't pick up or something,
Yeah.
and it's a number that was close to, yeah. So don't worry about it, man.
Yep, you're right. Telemarketer. He's probably put me under there as telemarketer. So
Yeah.
how would we get to him to to change that?
How do you feel? A bit better or?
Yeah, I'm actually dragging this on, hoping that in the next few seconds he sends me a text
Okay,
going,
it's a podcast.
sorry I couldn't talk, mate. I'm in the middle of something I do want to talk to you. I've been meaning to catch up.
No, it's all over.
That's a hat trick of shuns.
Haim, last week you launched the segment, what was it called? Shunned by a Russ?
Shunned by
Shunned by Russell, sorry. Yeah, I'm remembering the intro. In fact, we should play the intro.
Play the intro.
Yeah.
Yep. Not trying to complain, don't want to cause a fuss, but you have been shunned by a Russell.
And you
Well,
got
this is a-
shunned by...
Well, I opened the segment up to say anyone in their life, if they feel that they might have been shunned by a Russell, be they well known or civilian, you can come to the show. We'll try and get to the bottom of it. We'll obviously, as we found out, I'll obviously lend a compassionate shoulder for you to reveal why a Russell shunned you and how Russell shunned you. I kicked off the segment by going through the history of the 2 text messages I've sent in the last year to Russell Howcroft.
Yes, of course. Of Gruen fame, breakfast radio in Melbourne, number 1 breakfast show in Melbourne. Sorry, Jack, to say
Well,
that.
number 1 breakfast AM.
Well, overall is
Yeah,
actually
but
the...
on FM, we are still number 1.
Yeah.
Sure, but
he can
you
say
have to say FM. He gets to say overall across
So
the
you have to
entire
do that
medium.
annoying little clarification bit, but he gets just to say.
I don't know. AM and FM radio to me is like radio and TV. It's 2 whole different mediums.
No,
pretty much.
it's like the genus, the species, the phylum, like all of radio.
Yeah.
He's the king of.
Yeah.
For your specific species of radio, FM, you are the king of that ecosystem.
Yeah,
Species
exactly.
a winner.
Which is
Special winner.
Which is kind of like
he's the phylum.
the same way as being the king of Nauru isn't as great.
He's not the
as-
king of the world.
No.
You would be under the king of the world.
yeah.
But to the Naruvians,
Oh yeah.
all hail the king. Anyway, so that's Russ.
Now, no one's come forward yet. No one's come forward and pointed out that they have been shunned by a Russell, but
Well, we don't have time for it anyway because we're
it's
following up.
But maybe it's because, Ham, they don't know whether we are true to their word and follow up and resolved Russell shunnings. And so this will be good news for all those people that were uncertain about emailing in, because Russell Howcroft did hear the segment last week on the podcast, and he joins us now. Haim, do you want the opportunity to say these words hello to him? Because you were so keen to catch up with him by the sounds of it.
Well, one of my text messages was a catch-up enthusiasm. The other one was simply and contained no catch-up bait, just wanted to congratulate a man on a job well done for the documentary he made. Both messages went green. I thought there must be a problem with the phones. I've since cross-referenced his number. It is the correct number.
Yep.
We called him on the show last week. He went straight to message bank from my phone, which is, is correct, Russell. And in fact, Russell's message, as we all heard, is something along the lines of, I've hung up on you because I only do text message and I love doing text messages.
Russell, welcome to the show. Ahoy to you.
Welcome,
Great
Russ.
to be with you both.
It's great to hear your voice. I gotta say, despite the history, it's still great to catch up.
So, Russell, this is the part of Shunned by Russell where we allow the Russell in question to defend themselves. What would you like to say?
Well, first thing, Hamish, you did miss out, I think, a fairly important point in the flight back from LA to Melbourne story. One of us was upgraded.
Oh, it was Hamish. Were you upgraded, were you?
Was I upgraded? No, you were upgraded.
No, Russell was.
I feel like I would have remembered that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. So I was shunned. So I was at a class thing. So we were friends in LA when we were on the same level. But then once you got closer to the nose of the plane, you began to change your friendship group.
Yeah, that's just fair.
I moved on. So,
I'm sure Kate Middleton changed a few of her friends when she entered the royal family. It's a class thing, Ham. Yeah,
I get it.
So, Hamish, I've sent Andy some exhibits.
Oh, yep, they're just coming through now.
Yeah. So I've taken some photos of text messages.
Hey, it appears at times that you've been shunned by a Hamish, Russell.
What do you mean?
I was calling it I've been blaked.
Yeah.
So you will notice maybe
fake out via Blake hat. What do you mean?
Blanked by a Blake?
So yes, the first text we had a nice little text after I had my little nice pointy end flight, and we discussed having a pizza over at my place whilst
we did.
Yeah. Now I sent you a text on Thursday, February the 20th, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to have to sort of say to Hamish, look, I've got some other friends coming over, so. Max Gawn, who of course is known to both you and I, said, look, I've got Max coming over, Tom McDonald, some D's.
Some Melbourne Football Club players, which Hamish would be so thrilled with this. This goes
21 days after our didn't get a chance to say goodbye at baggage claim, but let's catch up soon. And you're following through.
He also
I'm sending Andy my screen. Oh, okay. He's saying I've got friends coming over, so don't come over. Sorry, I would invite you over, but we don't have any more chairs.
No, he does. I'm reading it here, Ham. He mentions Max
I've never received this.
Tom McDonald, and he says, Sunday night at their place, if you and Zoe plus kids, if that's good for you, would like to come over, you're very, very welcome. Yeah. Extremely low key. Well, I make the pizzas. It's exceptional on you. So,
hello.
And also, Russell, according to his dossier, has replied to your initial text message as well.
Thank you,
Andy. I've sent you the screenshot from my phone. Russell, are my messages going blue to you because they're going green to me, mate? Are you on iPhone or are you Samsung?
No, I'm Google, mate. That actually could be what's going on because
Andy, I'm sending you what I've got on my end, and it's nothing.
It is nothing. Yeah,
and this makes sense.
So Thursday, February the 20th, I sent you a text. Nothing back from you regarding coming over. So then Sunday, I send you another one.
I'm deep in what I now refer to as my cold year, thinking that this is a year of being cold-shouldered.
Yeah.
Let me know if I need to make extra batch of pizza dough.
Yes.
No reply.
So he at this point, Russell, just talk us through what you're feeling. I mean, imagine you'd be feeling extremely shunned.
Believe how fast the tables are turning here.
Yeah, right. At this point, I'm thinking, I thought, Hamish and I thought we were.
Yeah, that's what we were both operating off. Such a great vibe. That's why none of this has made sense to me, Russell. I was like, look, I get it. If it was me, if I was 18 and it's a girl I met at a nightclub, of course I would be too keen. But the chemistry seemed to be undeniable. That's what's had me questioning what's going on.
Then, according to Russell Ham, he gets a message from you just wondering if you're still in the building because Zoe would like a photo with him.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
And so after you not replying to him about
he didn't reply to that either.
Yeah, well, he does, but according to him, after all this non-replies on the pizza, you just ask him a favour for your wife.
I've obviously never got the pizza thing.
This is interesting. And then,
so from Russell's perspective, you think I'm a guy that doesn't care about pizzas because my wife did your business podcast, had a great time. We came in to do our podcast. She was hanging around with us, and she's like, "Oh no, I forgot to do a photo with Russell." Sent you that message. You didn't write back, and I thought,
"No, I did." You can see there's a little sad face emoji. Then you sent me a text regarding Mojo, as you've referred to. I immediately sent you back a text saying Tuesday, Jan the 12th. What does that say?
Oh, my.
Yep.
So you're a champ. You're a champ.
Yeah, you're a champ. So suddenly, Ham, I mean, what is happening between you two phones?
My phone gets none of your messages. That's why I waited so long. I mean, Mojo was such a good doco.
Have you blocked the number somehow?
It didn't just compel me, right? It didn't just compel me to go, I'm going to message Russell.
Go to Russell's number. Have you got it blocked? Because then his text wouldn't... Have you got it blocked? Is it blocked?
Why is this? It says unblock this call.
You blocked Russell. Blocked by a Blake. That is the new service.
That's the same thing that happened to our mate Tim. My phone does this. One of our best mates, Bartley, Tim goes, why are you responding to my messages? Like, what are you talking about, mate? And I had him accidentally blocked.
Well,
could you please show Hamish the note I sent back to him after he sent me a very nice note regarding Mojo?
Yeah,
and then you'll see that I missed a phone call, which you've just referred to at the beginning of this podcast, and I've sent a text saying I'm now off the phone. I then tried you twice.
Yep. So he says,
and it just went. It's because you were blocked. It just went straight to voice.
So after the Mojo one, he says,
how this has happened.
You're a champ, H. But with reference to the doco, you're a champ, H. Good ad story. Hope to do another one at some point. I see you and family in Bondi. How unreal. Now that my job determines I can't live in Sydney, all of a sudden it's a greater allure. And he talks about coming up and sharing a boat with you. It'd be brilliant to catch up. Must be nice.
Because I hear that I hear there's a bit of a boat going on.
Yes.
We have access to a timeshare system where we can go for boat days.
So there you go, Ham.
Very working class.
You have
this. Here I am just on this. I'm thinking I'm just throwing what I feel like to be, amazing messages out there, getting nothing back. And it turns out that I've got the nicest guy in the world, as we suspected you are, Russ.
Hey, Russ, just so you know,
returning fire.
Not since Hamish was single, back when we were like in our early 20s, have I seen him so distraught for someone not returning his text messages. It used to happen a lot back in the day. He's having terrible flashbacks, but he did pursue you, and this is great news that we've worked it out.
Can I tell you, it was at this end as well, Andy,
Yeah.
I'm
what's
really
going on here?
Do you know what? I'm so glad we invented Shunned by Russell because we would never have discovered this. And I hope that for people listening that think they've been shunned by a Russ, but in fact,
open the segment up, Ham, to anyone. I mean, it's still called Shunned by Russell, but if you feel like you're being shunned and we would like to get to the bottom of it for you, is that a service, or do you still want to leave it strictly to Russell's?
We can open it up. We can open up. Mystery Shunning's. Shunning's Warehouse.
Shunning's Warehouse.
We'll take any shunning.
Great, but you have to prove to us
it's got to not add up.
You did have a rapport.
Yeah.
Basically there will be a tiered system. If you get past the rapport test and we go, yep, that seems weird, it doesn't add up, we'll follow it up.
Adding up.
But Russell, thank you so much for joining us. We know you're a busy fellow.
I am pleased to announce you're unblocked. Congratulations.
Can you
now have
me?
Yeah, you are. You have a direct line.
See you, buddy.
Jesus, watch out.
Thanks, Russ.
Aim, it's time for one of these.
Not trying to complain, don't want to cause a fuss, but you have been shunned by a Russ. Oh. Who knew that this would open such a can of worms? So many people being shunned by Russells out there.
We decided that we're going to potentially open it up to if you've been shunned by anyone, we'll follow it up for you on the podcast. We want to renege on that. There's enough people that have had complex Russell issues that we need to sort out.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's like we're opening up we planted some corn, but we plan to grow all the vegetables. Yeah. And then go, oh my God, there's too much for us to handle with just the corn. We're going back to being just corn farmers.
Hey, Jack, alert listener Jack emailed us in at Hamish&AndyCompilations. Jack joins us now. Jack, ahoy to you.
Ahoy, boys.
Ahoy, Jack.
Rather than me read out the situation, to me this ticked enough boxes to warrant a follow-up to the shunning. What I really need to stress to people that are writing in for Shunned by Russell, you must know them.
Yeah.
They must be friends.
Yeah.
And
You
it
have to
must
suspect-
be perplexing why they are not getting back to you.
You have to suspect, as it has the original Shunned by Russ, which was Russell Howcroft, we have completely sorted out that shunning. It was an accidental block on the phone.
Friendship is burning hot right now.
A raging fire of friendship is now happening. And that's my dream for all people that have been shunned by Russ. But the segment was born from the feeling of this doesn't add up. We see each other in person. We're friendly. You get to the phone. It's ice cold. Couldn't figure it out. Now, there was a legitimate technological reason of the shunning there, and we figured it out. And I hope that we could solve all of the shunnings in the same way.
This might be slightly different because I reckon it might be clear why the Russell's being shunned, but it's certainly unfair.
Go for it, Jack.
By Jack's being shunned by Russell, sorry.
So this is about a 4-year shunning, but he keeps coming back and then re-shunning me. So it's kind of half exposing a web of lies. He originally asked if he could borrow my golf clubs. I said, yep, not a problem. Go and pick them up at my mum and dad's house because I had left them there because I was renting another place at the time.
Yep.
He had then taken them and I had genuinely forgotten about him borrowing my clubs until about a year and a half later when I said, hey, Russell, which is the guy's name.
Not a Rastaffa, which we would also accept for Shunned by Russ.
Hey, Russell, can I borrow those clubs? The friends asked me to come and to play a round of golf. And I didn't hear back from him for 2 weeks until suspiciously after I had already missed the playing golf with him. He responded back to me saying, I think they're at my mum and dad's. I'll have to get back to you. Then he never responded back to me again after a couple of follow-ups saying, hey, where are the clubs? Where are the clubs?
Right.
About 6 months later, he then responded back to me saying, I think my other friend Cooper has got them. Don't bother contacting him now. He's in hospital. I'll let you know when he gets back to me.
Do you know Cooper, Jack?
I don't know Cooper.
Could be made up, right?
Yep.
Could be made up, correct. So this has been going on and off, me responding back by Instagram and messaging and calling. So Russell and I were friends in high school and have remained friends since, about 12 years later. And the golf clubs aren't anywhere to be found. And he keeps not responding to my messages.
Okay, fascinating Shunned by Russ. This is a great case. Am I right in saying here, Jack, that he just 2 weeks later picks up the conversation as if it's just happened? Is he one of those guys?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It's always a curious thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you're like, hey,
It's a
mate, where's
great
those
move.
golf clubs? 14 days go by. G'day, mate. Sorry, I was just eating a sandwich. I'm not sure. Think they're with Cooper, who you don't know and doesn't exist.
Correct.
We probably know why he's being shunned, as in Jack's being shunned by Russ. The clubs, he can't find the clubs.
Can't find the clubs.
But
They're
I think
somewhere very inconvenient, are they?
He's lost them or given them away to someone.
So I suppose what we want out of this situation is Russell going, hey, I've lost them, forgive me. And then relationship can go back to normal footing, I would say.
I guess what we want is some honesty, don't we, from the Russell? And this is where I love, I mean, we all have dreams, Ando, and I dream that in 10 years' time on the podcast, we're still doing Shunned by Russ, and it's harvesting the results that we've had so far with Russell Howcroft. But the success of Shunned by Russ hinges on the Russ being a great, honest person. Now, of course, we got lucky with Russell Howcroft, but let's be honest, that's one of the best Russells in the world.
Yes.
I'm not just saying that because we're in the middle of a red-hot friendship.
Jack,
I'm just saying,
I feel
we
like
need
we should
that honesty.
call your Russell now. If he picks up,
Yep.
Will you feel comfortable enough us just diving straight into it?
I would, actually.
Okay,
just
cool.
saying, hey, just give me an honest answer. Where are they?
Now, what I think we do here is we call him. If he picks up, we say it's Hamish and Andy on the podcast and you're part of a great segment.
Yeah.
Right? And then we'll play him the opener.
Yeah.
And then
You really want the Russell. You wanted to feel the full glare of the searchlights on him and for him to break down and just be honest.
Okay, good luck,
Because you don't
everyone.
want a wriggly Russell trying to get out of it.
Hello?
Is that Russell?
Yes, it is.
Go, it's Hamish and Andy here, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Russell,
good. You
we
just-
are terrific, mate.
You got nominated for a great new segment. That's why we're calling you out of the blue.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That That sounds concerning. Should I be concerned?
No, not at all, Russ. I don't know if you listen to the podcast or not, but, you're on the podcast at the moment. We welcome you. Would you like to know the title of the segment?
Sure thing.
Okay, let's do it.
Not trying to complain, don't want to cause a fuss, but you have been shunned by a Russell. Shunned by Russell.
Yeah.
Is the segment you are part of, Russell. As you may have guessed, as I'm sure you're aware of your name, you play the role of Russell.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah.
the question you may be asking yourself right now is A, what is Shunned by a Russell? And B, and if you've accurately concluded that it's a segment where we have an instance of a Russell shunning someone, you might be thinking to yourself, who have I shunned?
Well, I was thinking, I remember one of you is getting shunned by Russell. Is that not right?
That's
and
right.
that was where this came from.
Yes,
that's
Hamish
correct.
was being shunned by Russell. It turns out he wasn't. He just accidentally blocked Russell Howcroft's number on his phone, and so it was appeared like he was being shunned.
The feeling was real, but actually Russell felt like he was being shunned by me.
Yes.
So
And
it was a two-way shunning.
And that's what's great about this segment. Often it's just a simple misunderstanding that really clears everything up.
So
Now-
my case has been closed to the satisfaction of the listeners. Your case is open at the moment, Russell. Russell, can you think of anyone in your life who might have heard the segment and gone, I think I've been shunned by Russell? A friend, someone that has a lot of deep affection for you, but might be confused at some behaviour.
As to why you're not getting back to him.
Oh, it's actually. Oh, well, you just gave me a hint. You said him.
Shunning a
I was
lot of
gonna
people,
say,
are we, Russell? A non-gender binary shunner.
Too right. I'm glad you specified there.
It's someone who you borrowed something from, who then feels that they've had a lot of trouble getting back in contact with you to retrieve the thing.
It's been a long time shunning.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Sound proud of it. No, I kind of
We
back that.
appreciate the honesty.
That's really
This is what
great.
we hoped for from the shunner.
So long that you don't remember his name? Or do you-
No. It's been recently brought back to the forefront. I call him J-Ho,
Yeah.
but he's otherwise known as Jack Holiday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got the same.
And
got
I'm
the same one.
shunning him over a set of golf clubs, no less.
Yeah, that
Yes,
matches
you
the
are.
file notes that we have as well
In our
here.
deposition from J-Ho, that is the statement of fact he's put forward.
So,
Well,
We do have J-Ho. Jack, would you like to say hello to Russ?
Hello, Russell.
hello there,
Finally,
J-Ho.
you
I love the extent that you've gone to get these shitty clubs back, mate.
Russell's come out on the defence of a few haymakers. Look, Russ, unfortunately, Jack felt like he had no other place to turn. That's why we offer this service.
Yes.
Okay, look, I've got some great points of defense here because
Okay.
J-Ho's quality level of communication skills has actually turned out to be quite below average.
Okay. Normally it's not a mudslinging fest. It can just be. It can
I
be.
suppose we're
painted-
making up as we go along, aren't we? Every Russell's different.
But yeah, so you would like to go. Oh, you've been trying to reach out, but just you keep missing each other for
Okay,
technical reasons.
I'll give you a short and sweet over the past 3 years of how it's come about. So me and J-Ho, we're mates, right? At school, we were super tight and we used to hang out a lot. So I think I was around 21 or 22. I'm turning 28 in like a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, I get a message and it's like, hey, mate, can I get those golf clubs back off you? And I was like, yeah, they're in my parents' garage. And he's like, cool, sounds good. And at the time, I didn't have a car, so I couldn't just drive them over and drop them off. So I was like, I'll leave them out in the driveway. And then my parents moved house, didn't hear anything back from J-Ho about it. And then a year later, around the same time, actually, he must have like a mate's annual golf get together and play golf no other day of the year.
Let's stick to the facts here, Russell, and keep conjecture out of it.
Okay, yeah. So I get another message, hey, about a year later, hey, mate, can I grab those golf clubs off you? I'm like, I thought we sorted this out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. So I call mum and dad at the new place. I'm like, hey, are those golf clubs still down in the garage? And they're like, yeah, we'll have a look. So we go to sort it out, and then nothing happens again. And I don't hear from him again for another year.
Oh,
Right. So
And
hang on.
then-
Did your mum and dad get back to you and go, yeah, we have a visual in the clubs, or were you shunned by a mum or shunned by a dad there?
Yeah, so no, I was shunned by J-Ho. They had initially found them. In the most recent attempts to source them, they are unfindable. So,
right. Okay. So
and that's
what
this is
we're
the third year.
This is the third year. Okay. What we're looking at is some lost golf clubs.
But we're also looking at a Russell that, by his own admission, has been shunning someone to not admit that they're lost. Is that fair, Russ?
I'll give you the reasoning though. So this is actually a tit for tat on the Shunned front, right?
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let me look back through my correspondence with my sister and my mum and dad over the past couple of years around that date to try and figure out what had happened.
Right.
And then I looked back through my history with Jack in messages trying to figure out what had happened. And I realized that there had been a bunch of times when I'd bumped into J-Ho and we'd said, oh, let's link up for a coffee. And then I'd messaged him and then he'd never replied.
Oh.
And I just thought to myself,
I'll sell his golf club.
This guy doesn't deserve golf clubs.
he's been shunning me for like the whole time I've been shunning him. And
This
I was
can
like,
happen.
you know what?
Okay,
This is
let's all pause
exactly
for a second.
This is exactly what happens because you escalate the shunning, and you can start thinking unfair things about the other party.
Russell thought you were shunning him as well, Ham, and it turns out you were, but accidentally.
Yep.
Jack, how do you respond to the lack of linking up with Russell?
I will say that he's probably correct in a couple of times. I haven't agreed to catching up with him.
Yeah.
Admittedly, my own fault. So
This is great. This is exactly what
This is
Shunned
what
by
happened on
Russell's
Shunned
all
by
about.
Russell. You guys
should-
come out guns drawn, and then just before the gunfight happens, you go, "Oh, you Smith and Wesson?" Go, "Yeah, I love Smith and Wesson." Yeah. Suddenly you're best friends, and you were about to have a
You're
gunfight.
bonding over your love of the firearm you chose to take to the battle.
So this is what Shunned by Russ is all about.
Yeah.
It actually uncovers a friendship that wasn't dying, that's ready to be raging hot again, like Blake Howcroft, that is ready to rage. Have the golf clubs just vanished? Did you sell them? Did you just go, have they been thrown out?
Someone's taken
Well,
them.
yeah, look, even my mum's clubs are better. So I think they were just looking at these things taking up space in their garage, and they were like, let's give them to some kid that doesn't have golf clubs that plays all the time.
you just introduced a charity angle to it.
probably better used by someone.
They're probably-
Okay. So, Jack, are you happy to let the clubs go if it can return the friendship?
I will let the clubs go if Russell maybe buys me a couple of beers to say sorry, we make up.
How do we feel about that, Russ?
Yeah, well, that entails us having to link up, J-Ho, so the connection's back on your ass.
I was thinking, well...
Should point out, he has struggled to get in contact with you. Look, we've done all we can.
You can link up now if you want your free beers, and there's a little bit of incentive to do so.
Exactly
Guys,
right.
thanks very much for closing this
I
case.
cannot believe we've ended up with another Russ and Shunny coming back together.
Wonderful.
Let's do another one soon.